for now, we can't really tell. If the government intervenes and Dangote is ready, Dangote group of companies or whatever, they are ready to do what they are supposed to do. That the thing is, if you purposely strike, anybody wants to go on strike is like, it's like a pressure.
Yeah.
If you put it, if they don't want to do what is right, they don't have no other option. But I think that if federal government comes in, as they're trying to do, and if at the end of the day, the other side, as the company, agrees to what we are saying, then the strike will be suspended.
Now, beyond the no union policy of the Dangote Group, does Nupeng have any other demands of the organization?
At this point, the major matter that Nupeng is requesting is that these workers, in fact, you should understand that it's not about one company and one union. We are talking about the nation. We are talking about the workers. Whatever you do now sets a precedence. Okay? If you allow every other individual private companies to begin to have a management controlled union, then it becomes a precedence. And then what is the fate of the workers? What will be the fate of the workers? That any company can rise up and just do, who speaks for them? There's no voice. There will be no voice. And then these workers will turn to slaves.
Okay. Well, usually when
union membership is a constitutional matter. It's a constitutional right, rather. So you don't have to stop them. You don't have to block that right or take away that right from them. If you don't check it, it becomes a very dangerous precedent.
Okay. Now, usually when issues around strike come up, with ASU strikes and any strike in the country, there is always concern for those that it affects the most. And critics, observers, friends and enemies will all agree that Nigerians would bear the brunt of this, fuel scarcity, hardship, and everything that will come out of this. So because you obviously can only speak for Nupeng, what do you think needs to be done to ensure that even though this is pressure put on the government for the right thing to be done, Nigerians also too do not suffer for the misunderstanding that exists?
One thing you know is that without the workers, Nigerians won't have food on their tables. Because every worker has a family. So if the rights of the workers are trampled upon, the workers are relegated, which family, which people are going to suffer? So whatever we may say, maybe our people may go through this period, it's just for a kind of sacrifice for the right things to be done. Nobody is happy that anybody will suffer. Nupeng is not asking for Nigerians to suffer. But what Nupeng is saying, let the right thing be done. Because this same worker that are being treated this way, assuming you lose about over 250 tanker drivers, if they lose work, what happens to their families? And that may not be the end. It means that same thing will continue to happen. And so at every instant, then we will lose workers. And then before you know, we will have people who don't have what to do. And then they are dependents. We will not have anything. We will be suffering. So when all of us will assess and say, oh, let the right be, nobody will die. Nobody is dying. Yes.
All right.
Yes, possibility of fuel price hike is there. Yes, possibility of whatever is there, but I think we will pull through.
Okay. All right, comrade Udonwa, we have to take a break now, and after that break, we continue the conversation. Please stay with us.
Thank you.
Info, Sam Chinedu here. And an update to that. We've been talking about the proposed strike by Nupeng and the attempt at the federal government to avert the strike. Well, at the business news at 4, I believe I took a report connected to that. Stakeholders in the oil and gas sector have been reacting to the nationwide strike declared by the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, which the chairman of the Nigeria Labour Congress in Rivers State, Alex Agwonwo, says the NLC is fully in solidarity with Nupeng over the industrial action. Mr. Agwonwo told correspondent Obio that the union will continue to monitor the level of compliance by members. He also explained that the Trade Union Act gives Nupeng the sole responsibility to unionize workers in the oil and gas sector.
So far as the oil and gas industry is concerned, Nupeng have been given the legitimate right, based on the Trade Union Act, to unionize all haulage truck drivers in terms of petroleum distribution and haulage. Dangote coming to say that Nupeng does not have that right or not to bring another association, which is not a union, because the Trade Union Act is clearly states those that are supposed to, both association and unions, in terms of category, area of jurisdiction.
All right, I still have my guest on the phone with me, Comrade Uche Udonwo, who is the chairman, IMB, that's Independent Marketers Branch, Nupeng, Port Harcourt. You're welcome once again, sir.
Thank you.
All right, so the voice you just heard is of Alex Agwonwo, the NLC chairman, River State, and he stated that compliance will be monitored. That, of course, brings me to the question I was going to ask before the break. Is this position by Nupeng adopted by the entirety of Nupeng? How united is Nupeng internally? The level of compliance? Are there people who might be against this move within the ranks of Nupeng?
Within Nupeng, nobody is against the move. Okay. We are all in solidarity. Every branch of Nupeng must abide by this directive.
Okay. All right. So coming up next, we'll be talking about long-term policies to ensure that the rights of workers are protected. But we'd like to hear from the listener. The numbers to call are 0817 923 0002. 0817 923 0003. WhatsApp is 080 903 0416. We're looking at the federal government's move as Nupeng insists on a nationwide strike. I have Comrade Uche on the phone with me. I'm asking, do you support Nupeng's strike as a fight for workers? Or do you see it as, well, something that would bring some level of hardship on Nigerians? And if the Dangote refinery is stopped, if drivers, rather, at the Dangote refinery are stopped from joining unions, what steps should the government take? Please turn off your radio as you call. If you also have questions for my guests, you're very free to ask those questions. Jojo Adewale says, instead of the union to go on strike that will affect Nigerians, why not go to court if it's against the Constitution? Comrade Uche, that question is for you. So why did they not explore the court instead of strike?
All right, well, you didn't talk about the court here. We are talking about the class of persons who have been employed. Like we said, it's a violation of the Nigerian Constitution. Even, yes, that is clear. But first and foremost, the union must say, no, these things are not done this way. The union must say, like I said before, it's a violation of the Labour Act, Living International Labour Organization Conventions of number 87 and 89 and 98 rather. So you don't talk about cost, but talk about keeping on the employers. The employers don't know this clearly, and that's why we are involving the federal government. The federal government will first and foremost are supposed to speak to them, are supposed to summon them, and say this thing you are doing is against the labor laws. Of course, we know it's clear, it's not just in Nigeria, but internationally. So it's not an issue of court, it's not a court issue here. We're talking about things that have to do with the convention.
Okay. Lebari calls from Bori. Good evening, Lebari.
Yeah, good evening, my brilliant brother in the temple of the press.
Good evening.
Good afternoon. Yeah, comrade, I want to find out from you which part of the labor law has to emphasize that is more than the constitution of the country that states that everybody has the freedom of association. Now that you are trying to compare me to join NUPEN, is it not against the constitution of the country? One. Then my number two question, NUPEN, what have they done about casualization of workers in oil and gas industry in this country? Because if I can see NUPEN that say, okay, today we are down tools because of casualization that enslaved many of your staff. You are not fighting for the interests of your staff, but now you are fighting the people, compelling people to join your union. Meanwhile, some condition of service is enslaving your membership, some of your membership. For that section of your labor law, that has tanker driver to join the constitution of a country. Everybody have freedom of action. I can choose where and where to belong.
Okay.
One. Then number, what has your union done to casualization of workers in IT? They do to many of your casual staff service. You do not dance. To join unions, you want to dance.
Okay. Thank you very much. Hello, comrade.
I'm with you.
So I'll start from the second one to be able to respond to that myself. Done about the casualization of staff in IUs. The PENG did not down to that, but for this, they are downing to. So he's speaking about the interest of workers in YOSA.
Casualization is a long-term issue, and the union has effectively been handling all. Casualization is a long-term issue, and the union has effectively been handling all of that. Okay, if you are given the books that he's talking about, the union has very, very well, and they are still some of them, have told the line of the union, compare this to that issue of